Welcome to Concur Expense Training. To begin, we'll go to the website www.concursolutions.com. Once you've entered the web address, you'll be taken to the main sign-in screen. You'll simply put in your username, which is most likely your cesservice.com email address, and then the password initially will be the word welcome in all lowercase letters. Once you've hit the login button after entering welcome, it'll take you to another screen where you'll be prompted to set up your own personal password. My password's already been set up, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that and get logged in to the main screen. Just take just a second. We'll be on the main screen here. Here we are. On the main screen, you'll notice that there are several tabs across the top. There's the My Concur tab, which is the main default tab. You'll see the Expense tab. You will not see the Reporting or the Administration tabs, but you will see the Profile tab, which has your personal information, where to change your password, some system settings, and mobile registration for setting up your BlackBerry. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Profile tab, especially under Personal Information. This is the area where you'll just double check things and also set up your car information. So personal information, that's going to have your email address, your phone number, your cell phone number, and information like that. So just verify that that is all correct. Company information, these other tabs, just please go in and just double check everything looks good to you. The expense information, but bank information in particular, please make sure you go in there. It should have been set up when you came on as a new hire. But if you want to change the bank account information, or if you go in here and find that there's an error, please contact Veronica McKenzie. Her email address and phone number are on the My Concur tab, and you'll see that again here in a second. So I'm not going to click on it because it has my personal bank information, but just click on that. It's very self-explanatory. It has the routing and account information that you provided when you came on board, and get a hold of Veronica and she can make a change to that. Some of these things, expense delegates, you won't see. That's a management function, just to let them assign another manager to process reports, or I should say approve reports, if they go on vacation or out for some reason. Okay, so expense preferences, check those. One area I really want to cover is personal car, because it's a little bit confusing. So let's go ahead and get into personal car. If you notice, I have a car set up here right now. This is my lease car, and this is how it'll look. Just the vehicle ID. The type it's a little confusing. Some of the terminology is a little bit different because we set this program up to meet our needs, and it wasn't quite set up to do the state mileage rates, but it works very well now. So what you'll do is you'll click New, and again, the vehicle ID is just a description. So we're going to call it a 2010 Ford Fusion. Pretty typical car for what fleet we're using now. The vehicle type. When you first come on board, and if you're using your own personal car that you're paying for all the insurance and maintenance and everything else, it's your personal car that you're using when you first start, then it's very important that you use personal car mileage. And what that does, it lets the program know to reimburse you at the IRS rate for personal car use. And it's a high rate, of course, because it covers more things. The state will be your home state. In my case, I happen to live in Texas. So for initially, this is for someone that's using their own personal car. This would be the setup, and you would click Save. And then when you go in to enter your mileage, it would calculate it properly using the most current rate, versus the personal car mileage it typically changes once, maybe twice a year. Now what's critical though was once you've gotten a lease car or a long-term rental, that you go in here and put in the new vehicle. The Ford Fusion it's like I said, standard fleet. But what you'll do under vehicle type is put your home state. And this allows us to calculate, or the program I should say, allows the program to calculate your mileage correctly. So very important. And your home state, again, will go here. I know it seems a little bit redundant, but it lets us know in other areas what state you live in as well. And that's part of that process. Please make sure you click on Preferred Car. So if initially you had a personal car and then you got a lease or long-term rental, make sure you're clicking on Preferred Car, and that lets the program know this is the vehicle that the mileage reimbursement will be based on. Unfortunately, you cannot go back in and delete a car. I know there's a button to do that, but it's not active, and Concur does not support it at this time. So that's very important that you make sure you click on Preferred Car. And once you've set that up, then just click on Save. Again, this is my info, so I'm not going to click on Save, but it'll wind up looking just like this, the same as mine does. Okay, that takes care of the personal car registration. And again, please click on under my profile. Go ahead and click on these tabs. Just look through it, and this will show that you can just go through here and look at your information and verify everything is correct. If there's any changes to banking, let Veronica know. Any other changes, please let Barb Norton know. I'll let you know Barb's email address, or I should say where to find it, when we go to look at the My Concur tab in case there's anything that you need to change. Since we're in this area, I do want to cover mobile registration before we move on. And you can click on it right here, mobile registration, or down here as well. So we'll go ahead and click on mobile registration. And this is where you set up your BlackBerry to use Concur. First thing you need to do is set up your PIN, and you can use an ATM type PIN, however you want to do it. Just keep in mind you're going to have to enter it using your phone, so you probably don't want to make it too complicated. I don't know about you, but my thumbs don't work that great. So, but anyway, set up your mobile PIN. You'll put it in there, verify it, and then create update mobile PIN. Click on that. Then to get the actual application, you'll go down and under BlackBerry App World. I think the easiest way to do it is once you've set up your BlackBerry with your email address, go ahead and enter your email address here that you see here in your BlackBerry and click on Email Download Link. You'll get an email, of course, with the link on it. You click on the link, and it'll step you right through on how to set up your BlackBerry to use Concur. Very neat app. We'll go over it in more detail, but by using that application right from your phone, you can enter basic expense information, take a picture of your receipt, and you're essentially done. There'll be a couple extra things you have to finish up on the main page, but overall, that takes care of your expense. Now that we've covered the Profile tab, let's go on over to the My Concur tab. This is the default tab, and you probably remember seeing this when we first signed in. So this is the default. Let's go ahead. The first area I want to cover is the company information. This is where we have some basic information that typically doesn't change, but at the very top, this is going to be what we want you to pay attention to as far as anything that's changed. These first couple entries here are talking about being the month of February being a little bit different. The cutoff date is the 29th. It's February and a leap year. Typically, the cutoff dates are always the 15th or the 30th, and so we just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of the processing time frame and also a reminder about the cutoff date being February. The next area here is the naming convention for your reports, and this is very, very important, and I'll reinforce this when we go in to do the expenses as well. But this is a reminder of the format that you should be using. Last name, first initial, and the closeout date. And here's an example: Smith J. 11512. Very important that you put your last name because this is what we use to sort and find reports if we need to. The date, the formatting is not that critical. You can put in the dashes or not. You could do 01/15/12 altogether. As long as the cutoff date is correct, that's what matters. We definitely need it there. It's just the formatting is not as critical. So, last name, first initial, and the cutoff date. If you don't have any expenses, please make sure you email Barb Norton at csexpense@cesservice.com. And this is also if you have any things that need to be corrected on as far as your Concur account, if you have any questions, this will get you to Barb Norton, and she'll be happy to help you out with taking care of you. Last couple things. These are some documents here. These links are some helpful hints. Basically what we're going over today, just some referenced documents you can go back to and check out, and you'll also be able to see this video. Please keep in mind we talked about Veronica McKenzie being able to help you out with your banking information. So if you need to change your account or there's an error on your account, make sure you give her a call or email her, and she'll help you get that banking information. There's a web address here, and that's where you can send her the information or your banking information securely. So keep that in mind as well. So that's who you contact for your banking information, and that's how you contact her. And the last one is the employee portal link. My phone number and email address are under here, and also there's some basic generic Concur training information and some good information on the mobile application that's available. So good source of information, but it is generic and not CES specific. So please always keep an eye on the company info section. Okay, let's go on down. I want to cover the rest of the My Concur tab before we actually go into the expense report. You will notice the next section is the expense report section. We'll go back to that in just a second. Just want to go over this, the company card charges. We've been working on this. There's a little bit of a technical problem right now on how things flow, but once we get that taken care of, when you make charges on your company credit card, they'll flow over into this area and you'll see them and you'll be able to import them and use them on your expenses, and that'll save you some time. The area below it is for if you're a manager, have people reporting to you. You'll see the approval queue. If you don't have anybody reporting to you, you just won't see it. So let's go ahead and get into the expense reporting section. You'll notice here that there are already some reports entered. These are just previous reports that I've done and also some that are in the works. But initially this will just be blank and you'll see this area here, and we'll go ahead and click on New Expense Report, and it'll take just a second. That'll come up. And pretty straightforward. The policy remains the same. You never need to change that. The report date is just the date that you start the report. So I'm starting it on the 1st of March, and so that's what's shown here. The source code, the org unit code, and the employee ID, those are already filled in from information when you first start with CES. So the only thing you need to fill out is the report name. Again, very important, last name, first initial, and we're going to go ahead and go with 03/15/12 for the cutoff period, because that is the next report period when I'm recording this. So Young 03/15/12, and that's all you have to do to start a new report. And we'll click Next, and this will take us to the actual expense report area. On the right-hand side, these are all the different types of expenses, and I'll go through those and explain some of the policies involved with each one and point out the ones that you typically just won't even use. On the left-hand side, this is the area where once you've done your expenses, they actually show up. So when they're over here, they're already saved to your expense report and ready to go for submission. We only submit twice a month, which are on the 15th and the 30th. Other than that time frame, this is actually locked out and will not allow you to submit a report. What you'll get is a hard stop error, and you'll see some of these as we go through. They're red, looks like a red shield, and it will not let you submit. And the reason for that is if you try and submit outside the submittal time frame, it just won't let you do it, and it'll let you know why.